Hi, welcome to my channel. Today's feature is Barbarella, starring Jane Fonda in her sexiest role ever. The cult classic was based on a serialized comic by Jean Claude Forest. It was controversial and became known as the first adult comic book for its eroticism. So, we're going to be covering the difference between the film and the comic book. The comic book starts off with Barbarella roaming the galaxy until she encounters the planet Lythion. Strong winds cause her ships to crash into a giant greenhouse city called Crystalia, where she gets ensnared by giant vines of thorns, and then rescued by a man named Dianthus, which you can say she's very grateful for. And just when things are about to get interesting, the city of Crystalia is attacked by a group of inhabitants known as the Ormers. She then gets captured by the Ormers, stripped down, and subjugated to torture. But not all the Ormers are hostile. One of the leaders, Don, who wants to negotiate peace, ends up rescuing her, where you can say she's very grateful. It's here she and Don manage to sneak back into Crystalia, destroy a weapon that threatened the Ormers, and thus forcing the two to negotiate peace. So after that, she then manages passage on a cargo ship with a young captain named Dildano. But instead of wandering, the movie has Barbarella contacted by the President of Earth for an important mission.
Mr. President.
Love.
Love. Just a minute, I'll slip something on.
Don't trouble yourself. Have you ever heard of a young scientist named Duran?
Yes?
Recently, while on a trip to the North Star, he vanished into the uncharted regions of Tau Ceti. Your mission, then. Find Duran and use all of your incomparable talents to preserve the security of the stars. Now, this is a portable brainwave detector. When you wish to test for the presence of Duran, simply press this contact. The light will glow and the alarm will sound.
So after traveling in hyperspace, Barbarella has trouble with a spaceship and ends up crash landing on the planet. So traveling on Dildano's ship, they get attacked by a giant jellyfish which houses a race of merpeople. Subdued once again, they strip her clothes, so they can water treat her skin from the effects of the toxic water. So they bring her to the leader, the Medusa. Barbarella manages to subdue her and then later escape with Dildano. So, shortly after their escape, they run into a group of hunters who manage to capture them once again. But a wild animal runs loose through their camp, causing chaos. Dildano sadly gets injured and ends up dying. But not before the hunter's leader, Strychno, ends up getting impaled by the wild creature. Once again, Barbarella manages to escape in a ship where she lands and encounters twin girls with dubious intentions. The girls end up tying Barbarella up, where they intend to take her to their hideout. The difference in the movie is that the girls are kids as opposed to the comics, where they're a little more adult. And their hideout is a party of sadists. So, the difference in the comic is that the twins' older brother, Prince Togo, rescues Barbarella, as opposed to the movie where a hunter named Marcan comes to the rescue.
I'm so grateful for what you've done, I hardly know how to begin to thank you. I mean, if there's anything you need or that I can do, please tell me.
Well, you could let me make love to you.
Make love, did you say?
Yes.
Well, all right. But I don't see what good it will do. Do you have any pills?
Pills?
Oh, never mind. I have some here.
What is this pill?
Well, on Earth, when our psychocardiogram readings are in harmony and we wish to make love, as you call it, we take an exaltation transference pellet and remain like this. Here, let me show you.
I don't care for that. This is what I mean. This, a band.
That? But nobody's done that for centuries.
Why not?
Because it was proved to be distracting and a danger to maximum efficiency.
So, you won't do it?
Well, if you simply must insist, I guess so. But I can assure you there's really no point at all in doing it like this.
Without your garments, please.
Oh.
So the movie Barbarella had an innocence about her, which is vastly different than the comic book Barbarella, who, let's just say, was very open and experienced.
Now I'll have a look at your stabilizers.
Well, goodbye. And thanks again. For everything.
So, as soon as she takes off, she has ship problems, which causes her to crash land. Yet again. Meanwhile, back in the comics, the twins end up chasing Barbarella away from the safety of Prince Topol with a sword and pitchfork. Barbarella escapes into her ship, where she emerges into the labyrinth. So this is where the comic story starts to align with the movie. You have the city of Sogo, whose denizens practice evil influences, and the labyrinth of the exiles, where good people are rounded up and sent to.
Where am I?
We're in the labyrinth of the City of Night.
Are you an angel?
I'm Pygar, the last of the ornithanthropes.
The labyrinth stays
How do you
true to
do?
the comic form. And remember in the movies, Barbara was looking for Duran. Well, in the comics, she finds a man from Earth named Duran, but not the person she was looking for. So, he was renamed Professor Ping in the movies.
Help! Pygar, right in front of you! Pygar, no, to the right! Now! Pygar, you saved my life.
Which she was very grateful for. So Pygar gives her a ride. They manage to fight through the guards and sneak into Sogo. Sogo, city of debauchery and wickedness. This is basically Sodom and Gomorrah in space, same as the comics and the movie.
What do you want of me? Oh.
Hello, pretty. Do you want to come and play with me? For someone like you, I charge nothing. You're very pretty.
My name isn't pretty, it's Barbarella.
So here in the comic, Barbarella gets caught in a revolt against the tyrant of Sogo, but it's actually simulated for the amusement of the great tyrant. The revolutionaries get caught, and Barbarella is forced to meet the great tyrant in person.
So, my pretty, we meet again.
You! The little one-eyed wench.
You have a good memory, pretty. Yes, sometimes I like to go among my people. Be like them. I'm also the great tyrant.
The great tyrant also captured Pygar, so in a desperate attempt to free them both, Barbarella takes the great tyrant captive and orders to free them both. However, Barbarella ran out of ammo, and you guessed it, she gets captured again, and forced into another torture device. In the comic, Barbarella gets rescued by Captain Sun from the birds and whisked away by his servant robot. And we'll get to that later. But in the movie...
I'm not a political prisoner.
I'm from Earth.
Earth. Planet of the revolutions. I'm Dildano, head of the revolutionary forces. This is our headquarters. Are you typical of Earth women?
I'm about average. Well, I'm sure I could get you a substantial recompense from my government.
Earth woman. Shall I tell you what I would like?
I think I know.
Yes, they repurposed Dildano from cargo ship captain to leader of the revolutionary. Back in the comic, the robot that saved her, well, she was very grateful. But it turns out the robot betrays her and gives her away position to the caretaker in the comic. The movie, the concierge, just wanders and discovers Barbarella's position.
What is this thing?
You'll soon see, my dear. Wait until the tune changes. You may change your tune as well.
Oh, goodness. What do you mean?
When we reach the crescendo, you will die. With pleasure. Your end will be swift but sweet. Very sweet.
I don't believe it. It couldn't be. Wretched, wretched girl. What have you done to my scissors machine? You've undone it. You've exhausted its power. It couldn't keep up with you. What kind of girl are you? Have you no shame?
Oh.
You'll wish you had died of pleasure before this day is done. Now you shall learn the wisdom of the lash.
Oh, please, haven't you done enough to me?
Wait until I get my devices.
Duran?
Oh. Recognize me.
Recognized you? I could never have recognized you. I thought you were only 25 years old. What happened?
Well, the matmos is not without its effect.
But you've aged 30 years.
The matmos has its own means of nourishment. And in return, it teaches us truth. Now it's time for my pleasure and your death.
Wait! I know how you can enter the Chamber of Dreams.
You? How? Speak!
I have the key.
The Chamber of Dreams is where the one place where the Great Tyrant is vulnerable. The difference in the comics is that the caretaker gives Barbarella the key in exchange for what's implied that she kills her.
You're trapped.
Trapped in the Chamber of Dreams.
The matmos will devour you.
Trapped in the Chamber of Dreams, Barbarella's only move now is to seek the Queen and team up with her.
Wretched girl, what have you done? No one must enter while I sleep.
Your concierge is taking over the throne. It's the throne room.
I'm able to see into every part of the city and the labyrinth. Unfortunately, it's a one-way screen. No one can see that bloody dog is locked in.
Your Majesty! Your Majesty! We're under attack. The creatures in the labyrinth. They're revolting. Your Majesty!
Dare he interrupt my coronation?
It's Dildano. He will save us.
The imbecile doesn't know the secret of the great tyrant, the supreme weapon. I shall free the Mathmos. Sogo will disappear. It will be the end. The apocalypse.
Where are we? In the Mathmos and alive. I can see that, but why?
It seems the Mathmos has created this bubble to protect itself from your innocence.
Oh, no, stop! I command it! I'm Duran!
You are so good you made the Mathmos vomit.
Pygar! What have you done to Pygar?
He was sent to the Mathmos. But I see he's no more digestible than you are.
Oh, you can't be dead.
You win, Barbarella, but the Earth has lost its last great dictator, the genius of the positronic ray!
Instead of the Mathmos, the comics referred to a creature called the Beast, which is as large as a city and capable of spewing poisons that can destroy the entire city. They're able to escape the Chamber of Dreams through a secret passage where they find Pygar. They escape the city and return to the inhabitants of the labyrinth to warn them that poison from the Beast will devour them all. Unknown by the caretaker, the poison ends up destroying the city of Sogo and everyone in it.
We must fly back to my spaceship. Do you have the strength? Pygar? What did you save her for after all the terrible things she's done to you?
An angel has no memory.
Well, thank you for watching. This has been another comic to movie translation. This is Jay, signing out.